Hey there, thanks for joining me for another episode of Blind Buys. I really appreciate you taking some time to spend with me as we open another fragrance. This week, I just wanted something a little low stakes. I wanted a random pick. I see these fragrances every time I walk past them in my house, in my area here. They take up probably the most upfront real estate on my collection back here. Um, it is the most noticeable grouping, I believe, other than there's all the CK1s, and then there is the D&G the one, and then it's these guys. And since you clicked on the video, you already know what it is, but it's Azzaro Pour Homme. And we're going to start for this one with the original. Instead of starting with a flanker like I normally do, I figure we will start with the original and work our way through all the flankers. Because why not? I don't know anything about these fragrances. I don't know even... I've literally never... I don't think I've heard anybody ever talk about any of them, really. Just very, like, short passing, like, hey, these things exist kind of things. But I have 13 different ones, so it's going to take forever to get through the entire lineup. So we might as well start now. If you don't want to wait around for the other side of the waterfall where we do batch codes and other things like that, there is the batch code if you'd like to pause and read that. But I always do another half of the video where I do the batch codes, perfumer, what I paid for it, how it wore for the week, and all the other sorts of kind of things that you would like to actually hear other than just seeing me open boxes. So we've got some sort of 2/3 kind of jacket kind of going on. And that's what we got going on. Pretty nice bottle. I'm not going to lie, I kind of look forward to seeing all the ducks in a row once they're all unboxed and unpackaged and lined up on the shelf. I feel like that'll be a major part of the satisfaction for it, for me. Oh, that's not at all what I expected for an atomizer. It's a lot taller than I really thought, and the atomizer is just a few degrees off. So this is already off the atomizer. You can already smell this. It's kind of woody. Kind of smells. It smells old. Not like an old man, but it smells dated. It smells like this probably came out in like the 80s or the 70s. This smells like a dated fragrance for sure. So let's... Oh, my Lanta, the worst atomizer. Like, dude, the worst atomizer. That was the saddest thing I've ever seen. Woo! Oh, man. All right, we're gonna have to be sparing with this. This reminds me of my father's bottle of Stetson. Woo! Oh, man. Oh, yeah, my mom would like this, I think. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. I smell like the CFO of my company. Jeez. Okay, guys, so that's this fragrance, man. It's effing done. It's friggin' dated. Holy crap. Wow. All right. Yeah. So, our old Fragrantica cop-out, the Accords, it's got aromatic on the top, woody, fresh, spicy, earthy, lavender, anise, soft, spicy, mossy, leather, and citrus, for what it's worth. And in terms of notes, there's like a billion of them here. On the top, lavender, lemon, caraway, basil, bergamot, clary sage, iris, and star anise. In the middle, it's got vetiver, sandalwood, patchouli, cedar, juniper berries, and cardamom. And in the base, oak moss, leather, amber, musk, and tonka bean. Right. Sure. Yeah. Boy. I am really gonna have to get used to this one. I don't really know. This smells way older than I am. Like, I am 3 years old, and this is 64. Not that it's bad. Like, it's not a bad fragrance. Don't get me wrong. This is just not the right age group for me. Very manly. Literally could not misconstrue this for anything except a man's fragrance. Very mature. It's very mature. Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing, and I'm gonna wear the thing. I'm gonna get through it. But this one, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna like doing this. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah, I mean, just stick around. We'll see how it works on the other side of the waterfall. So thanks for sticking with me, you guys. Alrighty, folks. I've been wearing Azzaro Homme for at least 7 days. It's not always the exact amount of time between uploads. Sometimes I open them a few days before I upload the last video. And as such, I've been wearing this 7, 8, maybe 9 days. I'm not even 100% sure. And I honestly don't keep too much track. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. If it's less than a week, it's pretty easy, or just, it's not hard to say, like, it's a bad fragrance and I'm not really interested in wearing it for too much longer. But I digress. This fragrance came out in 1978, so it's 46-ish years old now, if my math is not and my math is shit. So I think that's right, 46 years old. Would it have stuck around for 46 years without being somewhat decent? I don't think so, to be honest with you. Despite my reaction to it initially, I think this is a somewhat decent fragrance. In terms of perfumers, we've got Gerard Anthony and Richard Wirtz. Richard doesn't really have anything to his name other than Azzaro Homme. But Gerard Anthony has a decent list of fragrances that nobody's really ever heard of or anybody really talks about, other than Paco Rabanne XS and a couple Paco Rabanne XS flankers. I can't remember exactly what they are at this point. It's not really that important. I don't think anybody is seeking out those fragrances or really cares all that much. In terms of batch code, I got ABU80EC, which gives us an approximate born-on date of August 2021, which makes this bottle 3-ish years old. But It's held up pretty well. I don't see any performance lacking in this bottle. In terms of housekeeping, I got this off of Fragrance Net for a whopping $27.59. They list a 3.4 ounce bottle, which gives us a $8.11 per ounce price tag. That's pretty dang low. We just did Encre Noir Sport, which sported a similar price tag per ounce. That did fairly well in terms of performance. And I think this actually did pretty well as well. I'm repeating a lot of words here. We're just going to keep going. In terms of projection, I gave this like a 4 to 5 out of 10. It's about average, but a lot of fragrances are going to be average. That's how the bell curve works, somewhere between that 4, 5, and 6. That's, it's the standard distribution. In terms of longevity, I give it a solid 8 to 10 hours. Maybe not so solid like I put in my workbook. 8 to 10 hours is pretty fair. Giving it a full 5-shot gambit, like 2 sprays on the arm, 1 on each shoulder and 1 down the back, that gives you a good work day, 8 to 10 hours. It might be a little heavy on the trigger, but it gives you a full work day. That being said, I knocked really heavily on this trigger in the opening, and actually the atomizer is not bad. I kind of came to not hate it so much. That being said, and spraying it once again out here, it kind of reminds me, it's listed as an aromatic fougere. It kind of reminds me of like a barbershop splash on kind of scent. Like after you get trimmed up, the guy's going to be like, you want some aftershave or something on that is splashing on. And it kind of smells like that. It also sort of smells like mom and dad date night from the mid 2000s. If you don't have a dad, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. About an hour in, the fragrance gets soapy, like kind of ambery soapy. And its use actually becomes more apparent than on first spray initial reaction. It can actually be used for a normal situation. You can wear it to the office if you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be relegated to any sort of special event. I wore it to the office, to work. It was a little odd because it is a bit dated. It's a bit more mature than I am. I'm, let's face it, a child still. So wearing something that's more suited for 40s, 50s, 60-year-olds, it was just a little bit odd. Now, it may sound like I'm really not being super nice to this fragrance, but like I said, it has its uses. And for people who are more mature, this is maybe something that you would reach for more often. But as such, I'm not really going to wear too much of it, although I do not entirely hate it at the end of this wearing. Would I purchase this had I sampled it prior to purchase? Probably not. I'm going to be honest. I probably would not purchase this fragrance, but that's the whole point of blind buys. And, it is what it is. We're only out $30. You make that real quick. Doesn't even take an hour. So whatever. decent fragrance for what it is. It's kind of old and maybe you should not buy it. That being said, you guys, find something that's as unique as you are, wear it unabashedly, and until the next time I see you, talk to you, or anything else, take it easy, you guys. Thanks.